Now at 5, authorities arrest a man wanted for shooting a man in early January outside a Joplin bar. Plus, city officials in Caney, Kansas say their outlook on their water situation is improving. We'll tell you why. And
presidential hopefuls are crisscrossing the country, looking to lock in key endorsements. I'm Skyler Henry in Washington as candidates set their sights on swing states and the upcoming primary races.
A rare bipartisan win on Capitol Hill as the House expands the child tax credit. I'm Natalie Brand with what it could mean for U.S. families.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Police arrest a Joplin man wanted for a shooting outside a bar in early January. This is KOIM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. 33-year-old Peyton Harbin of Joplin is now in the Jasper County Jail. Police say he and another suspect assaulted a woman inside Joplin's X-Cape bar on January 6th by punching her multiple times. They say witnesses then intervened and Harbin left the bar, but later confronted one of the witnesses and shot him in the abdomen and legs. That victim is still recovering from his injuries. Authorities last night learned Harbin was at a home in Webb City. They found him hiding in the attic and arrested him. Joplin and Webb City Police, the Jasper County Sheriff's Office, and the U.S. Marshals Service were all involved in that arrest. Caney, Kansas city officials say they have about a year's worth of water. This announcement comes as the Kansas Department of Health and Environment lifts a boil advisory for the town. The residents of Caney have dealt with water shortages on and off for years. That includes a water emergency that was declared in Caney in September of 2022.
What we have in Timber Hill, we think, is about 200 days roughly. With what we have reserved that's behind the the Lowhead Dam is probably another 100, 150 days. So we have almost a year of water just even now as it stands.
We're going to hear more from city officials tonight at 6. Boy, another unseasonably warm day. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it turned out to be another great day for us today. 71 for an afternoon high. That's a new record high. The record was 70, set back in 1974. We started nearly 50. Average high is 47, so our overnight low was above our average high for this time of the year. Looking outside, mid-60s, looks good. We are dry. We have a lot of clouds across the region, but temperature is pretty good. Upper 50s, low 60s, all the way to upper 60s still at 5 p.m. Now a little windy. We have those southerly winds which are kicking in at about 10 to 15. That's going to stick around as we go through the evening and then into the daytime hours on Friday. Temps are going to slide back through the 50s, but will only bottom out near 50 later on tonight. We got rain chances for the weekend. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
Catch you then. With Valentine's Day coming up, a lot of people are looking for a new outfit to mark the occasion. Well, Second Chances Benefit Thrift Store in Joplin has curated a collection of Valentine's themed items. All the clothing is thrifted and proceeds will go toward an organization that supports people struggling with domestic violence and substance abuse. Customers say they're happy to help in this way.
100% of the proceeds that come from our store goes directly back into Lafayette House to benefit the clients receiving services there.
And all the ministry that they serve, it's just a good fit. That's a pun, a good fit. Okay.
You can learn more about Second Chances and how you can help support them on our website, KOIMnewsnow.com. President Biden headed for Michigan today, where he could be facing a tough fight in the November election. He won the state in 2020 and hopes for a repeat, especially after picking up a key endorsement. Skyler Henry has the latest on the 2024 race for the White House.
President Biden arrived in a critical battleground state. Days after a valuable endorsement from the United Auto Workers, Biden met with union members in Detroit. Competing for the working class vote, former President Donald Trump met with the Teamsters on Wednesday, but the powerful labor union has not yet announced an endorsement.
Stranger things have happened. Usually a Republican wouldn't get that endorsement. For many, many years, they only do Democrats, but in my case, it's different.
Trump supporters are turning their attention to the upcoming South Carolina primary and the matchup with the last candidate fighting him for the Republican nomination.
It's a great day in South Carolina.
After losing in Iowa and New Hampshire, Nikki Haley is pinning her hopes on her home state, focusing on her achievements as South Carolina's governor.
We made South Carolina proud. It is time that we make America proud. And more than that, it is time that we make America normal again.
Even as she sharpens her attacks on Donald Trump, Haley faces an uphill battle.
Donald Trump, I think, is the clear favorite to win this state, in part because the Republican base is still very much in his camp, and they're the individuals that typically turn out to vote in a primary.
With a little more than 3 weeks to go until that primary, a recent poll shows the former president with a double-digit lead. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin made his first public comments today about his recent hospitalization for prostate cancer. The secretary said he's still experiencing leg pain and undergoing physical therapy. He also apologized to the American people for not disclosing his January hospitalization for several days. He says he did not handle the situation correctly and that he should have told the president and he should have told his team. Coming up next, spending on research.
A new report sheds light on cancer cases worldwide. I'm Ian Lee with the disease's global and personal impact.
Plus, scientists might have found a new way to fight drug-resistant bacteria. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, researchers at Northwestern University have successfully found a way to destroy drug-resistant bacteria. Using a technique called phage therapy, they modified the DNA of a virus and introduced it to the bacterium, effectively killing it. The study is a step forward in treating antibiotic-resistant infections. World Cancer Day is this Sunday, and a new study by the World Health Organization is shedding light on that disease. An American woman living in London is sharing her cancer battle to give others hope. Ian Lee reports.
Alexia Da Silva embraces each new day life gives her.
I never cried from joy before cancer.
The 42-year-old was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer in 2016.
I just went into shock and then tears.
To mark World Cancer Day, the World Health Organization released a broad study surrounding the disease. The WHO looked at 115 countries and found a majority don't spend enough on cancer care and treatment.
This is not the time to turn away. It's the time to double down and make those investments in cancer prevention and control.
In 2022, 20 million people were diagnosed with cancer, and the world saw nearly 10 million deaths from the disease. 1 in 5 people will develop cancer in their lifetime.
And around 1 in 9 men and 1 in 12 women will die from the disease.
Alexia knows this pain. She lost her mother, uncle, and grandmother to cancer.
They're with me in my heart all the time. I've out-survived them, and so I feel their spirit in me.
She wants to share that spirit of strength with others.
You know, we're all in this together. We have a secret bond, something that connects all of us.
After finishing chemotherapy, radiation, and 2 breast surgeries, Alexia's boyfriend surprised her with a trip to Morocco.
And I left out of the motorcycle and I was like, this is how you do cancer.
Now in remission, she cherishes every magical moment. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
The World Health Organization predicts more than 35 million new cancer cases by 2050, which is a 77% increase from the estimated 20 million cases in 2022. Toddlers should be eating more fish and veggies to prevent inflammatory bowel disease. Researchers in Sweden found 1-year-olds who ate more fish and vegetables had a greater reduced risk for ulcerative colitis and other bowel issues. Meanwhile, 1-year-olds who drank more sugary beverages, well, they had a 42% higher risk of bowel disease. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the House has passed a bill to boost child tax credits. We're going to break it all down.
Plus, record highs for us today. The mild temperatures stick around, but rain chances. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, definitely another fantastic day for us today. We've had a nice stretch past 4 days, all 60s and then 70s for highs for us today, well above our average high, record high of 71 degrees. Looks great. Here's a nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. We have partly cloudy skies. Those clouds will thicken up a bit as we go through the overnight hours tonight. All right, it's Thursday, our new drought tracker. It always comes out on Thursday, and the improvement we have seen over the past couple of months is great. We're out of the drought, Pittsburgh, Joplin, Miami, Neosho. Still a moderate drought in our western counties, but it looks way better than it did 4, 5, 6, 7 months ago as we were in a drought for the past couple of years. 58 in Stockton, 59 in Neosho, Miami at 60, 68 in Parsons. Independence is sitting at 69 degrees. Through the evening, we're going to see these temperatures back down, but look at this. It's still 65 southerly winds sustained at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, and it stayed kind of windy. We've had these southerly winds all day long. They're going to pick up a little bit, but you can look at our wind gusts over the past several hours. We're getting gusts in that 20 to 25 mile per hour range. And these are going to pick up. So through the night tonight, gusts kind of stay 15 to 20, kind of near 20 for us tomorrow. And then they increase as we go into Saturday. We'll have gusts 30, upwards of 35 miles per hour at times with our next storm system rolling in. All right, clouds for us today. You can see a few showers popping up on the radar. It's too dry at the surface, so it's not reaching the ground. But this first wave rolling off toward the east, here's our next bigger system, the western third of the country. And this is a pretty big storm system. It's going to roll out right into the Central Plains by the time we head into the weekend. So let's go through time. We're going to watch that area of low pressure, tracks out, produces rain as we head into the weekend. Fairly strong system. It sticks around all weekend, kind of slides to our south, finally rotates out of here by the time we head into Monday, back into a ridge, meaning we'll start to warm back up. So if we go through time for us tonight, we only drop back near 50. A lot of mid and upper level clouds. By morning or by afternoon, we get up right around 70 degrees once again. Clouds thicken tomorrow night. Look at the showers starting to increase. So we're going to go to Saturday morning. These showers really increasing throughout the entire day into Saturday night. A little closer look at this. These will start to really pick up Saturday morning and then kind of spread through all day long on Saturday. And this isn't going to be heavy rain. It's just going to be persistent rain as we go all the way through the weekend. How much rain can we get? It's not going to be a ton, but it's going to be a decent amount. I think a lot of areas, half an inch upwards to 3/4 of an inch, especially once you get into our western counties. All right, let's go 70 tomorrow. It's Groundhog Day, 70 and Groundhog Day, kind of crazy. 57 on Saturday, cooler 48 with the rain on Sunday. Back into the 50s Monday, Tuesday, 60s Wednesday and Thursday. Another storm system moving in for Super Bowl weekend.
Really looking forward to that long-term forecast from Mr. Groundhog.
It looks great. Winter is not done.
Regardless
of
what the groundhog says. All right, thanks, Doug. Hey, parts of the Pacific coast are getting hit by torrential rain from a powerful storm. It flooded some roads overnight, forcing water rescues in California. The storm blew down trees, destroyed cars, knocked out electricity. Reporter Elise Preston is north of San Francisco.
Overnight here in Sonoma County, crews trudged through this flooded road to rescue a driver from a vehicle stuck in deep water. 3 inches of heavy rain fell, just one of many areas socked in Northern California. In Sacramento, police blame slick roads and high-speed driving for sending this truck off the highway. No one was injured. The strongest storm of the winter season in the San Francisco Bay Area so far also brought wind gusts close to 60 miles per hour. In its wake, downing trees and knocking out power to thousands. Fire crews in Silicon Valley cut through this tree to rescue a trapped child. She was transported to a hospital and is expected to be okay. This same atmospheric river event is now slamming Southern California too. In San Clemente, concerns are growing over a worsening landslide. Crews worked quickly to tarp this hillside. In San Diego, residents hope these sandbags protect their homes and businesses as the storm grows stronger. Today, the city is under a voluntary evacuation order for low-lying areas.
It is designed to encourage residents in these flood-prone communities to prepare if and when evacuation does become necessary.
Not only will this storm continue to bring flooding rain and gusty wind, we're also looking at a second storm system moving in this weekend. That storm is expected to be even worse. Elise Preston, CBS News, Sonoma County, California.
Coming up, how Walmart plans to expand its brick and mortar foothold in the next 5 years. Topping today's Consumer Watch, a $78 billion tax cut package is headed to the Senate after passing in the House last night with rare bipartisan support. The measure would boost the child tax credit and reinstate some business deductions. Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill with more.
The yeas are 357, the nays are 70.
It's an issue that brought together Republicans and Democrats as the U.S. House overwhelmingly passed a $78 billion tax cut package that aims to help U.S. families, children, and businesses.
You know, I've been told that a half a loaf is better than none, but this isn't even a half a loaf. But I'm going to vote for it because our families and businesses need help.
While not as generous as what was passed during the pandemic, the bill boosts the refundable part of the child tax credit from $1,600 to up to $2,000 by 2025. It would also reinstate some business deductions, including those connected to research and development.
Each of these policies will help American businesses grow, create jobs, and sharpen their competitive advantage against China.
This is obviously a very rare but nice bipartisan effort to see.
John Buell of the Nonpartisan Tax Policy Center estimates all eligible households would see an average tax cut of around $680 if the Senate passes it by the April tax deadline.
As you know, people very often live paycheck to paycheck. So for people who are lower income, who have multiple kids, those are the people who are probably going to see the biggest benefits from this.
He says taxpayers who file early could still amend their filing if the bill gets to the president's desk. Some Senate Republicans have expressed reservations. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
That bill would also offer tax relief to victims of wildfires and of last year's Ohio train derailment. Walmart is showing its confidence in brick and mortar, announcing it's adding 150 stores in the U.S. over the next 5 years. You know, it's the first time Walmart has added a store in the U.S. since 2021. Most of them will be new, but some will be expansions of smaller locations into supercenters. Walmart also announced it's remodeling 650 U.S. locations over the next 12 months. Walmart currently has more than 4,600 stores across the U.S. Disney is set to begin banning password sharing on its streaming services. It's a move that follows in the footsteps of one of its top competitors, Netflix. In an email to Hulu subscribers, the company said it would start limiting sharing accounts outside of your household starting on March 14th. Final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look at the fentanyl crisis through the eyes of police in Portland, Oregon. Then on KOIM News at 6, we're going to have a lot more on that ongoing water issue in Caney, Kansas. Plus, the Oklahoma Supreme Court hears arguments over a plan to raise the state's minimum wage considerably. And it's officially college baseball season now. Crowder College and Lebec Community College square off in a doubleheader. We're going to have the highlights for you. Stay with us. CBS Evening News and then KOIM News at 6. If you're thinking, boy, this seems really warm for February, you're right, because, Doug, it's really warm for February.
It is. Today, record high for February 1st of 71 degrees. We're going to be near 70 again tomorrow, which is Groundhog Day. We do cool down. Rain starts to roll in just in time for the weekend.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOIM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.